Praise be to Jesus. Hi everyone, Charles with you here, and we're going to continue. Well, this first one's interesting. November the 5th, 2015. Pope says as a boy he wanted to be a butcher. That's from Reuters. It's an interesting choice for a child. November 6th. Pope Francis. The Christian includes, Pharisees excluded. Quote, the Christian includes, he does not close the door to anyone, even if this provokes resistance. The attitude of the scribes and the Pharisees is the same. They exclude, they say, quote, we are the perfect. We follow the law. These people are sinners. They are publicans. And the attitude of Jesus is to include. There's something lost here in these, whoever translates, translation between languages is always hard. Okay, continue. There are two paths in life. The path exclusion of persons from our community and the path of inclusion. This is why, this is the including of God against the exclusion of those who judge, who drive away people, persons. Quote, no to this, no to that, no to that, unquote. And a little of circle of friends is created, which is their environment. It is a dialectic between exclusion and inclusion. God has included us all in salvation, all. From Vatican Radio. November 10th. Catholicism can and must change. Oh, straight out point there. Can and must change. No, it can't change. What's he talking about? Francis forcefully tells Italian church gathering. Pope Francis said, quote, I do not want a church concerned with being at the center, and then ends by being caught up in a web of obsessions and procedures. If something should rightly disturb us and trouble our consciences, it is the fact that so many of our brothers and sisters are living without the strength, light, and consolation born of friendship with Jesus Christ, without a community of faith to support them, without meaning and a goal in life. More than by fear or going astray, my hope is that we will be moved by the fear of remaining shut up within structures, which gives us a false sense of security, within rules which make us harsh judges, within habits which make us feel safe. While at our door people are starving and Jesus does not tire of saying to us, give them something to eat. Christian doctrine is not a closed system incapable of generating questions, doubts, and uncertainties, but it is living. It knows how to disturb and to encourage. Well, there's an awful lot of people who agree with them. Of course, we don't, we think they're just being led in the wrong direction by the enemy. But, what are you going to say? November 11th, Pope Francis said, because Jesus gave us the Eucharist as a meal, there is a close relationship between families and the Mass. The togetherness we experience in our families is met in the family of the Church, to extend to all as a sign of God's universal love. In this way, the Eucharist becomes a school of inclusion. In which we learn to be attentive to the needs of everyone. Sadly, the family meal, this great symbol of togetherness, is disappearing in some societies. Food itself, the very sight of our sharing with others, is wantonly wasted in some places, while our brothers and sisters go hungry in others. The Eucharist reminds us that our bread is meant to be shared with all. May our families and the entire church be signs of togetherness and solidarity for the good of the whole human family, especially during the coming Jubilee of Mercy. Oh, yeah, that. All right. Yeah. 5 minutes. Okay. All right, next one. November 16th, another long one. Pope Francis suggests Lutherans might discern taking Catholic communion individually. Pope Francis has strikingly suggested that Lutherans married to Catholics can personally discern whether to take communion in the Catholic Church, saying it is not his role to give permission to such persons, but to encourage them to listen to what God is telling them about their situation. Well, hopefully God, most people listen to the enemy. Oh boy, I'm sure Satan loves this Pope. Oh boy. Now, Pope Francis said, quote, "I asked myself, is sharing the Lord's Supper the end of the path, or is it the I forget how to pronounce this word, viactum, for walking together? Is it true that in a certain sense sharing is to say that there are not differences among us, that we have the same doctrine?" I underline the word, a word difficult to understand, but I ask myself, don't we have the same baptism? And if we have the same baptism, we must walk together. You are a witness of an even profound path, because it is a conjugal path, a path truly of families, of human love, and of shared faith. We have the same baptism. I respond to you only with a question. What can I do with my husband so that the Lord's Supper accompanies me in the paths of my life? It is a problem to which everyone must respond, but a pastor friend told me, quote, "We believe that the Lord is present there. He is present. You believe that the Lord is present. And what is the difference? There are explanations, interpretations. Life is bigger than explanations and interpretations. Always make reference to baptism. One faith, one baptism, one Lord," Paul tells us. From there, grab hold of the consequences. I will not ever dare to give permission to do this because it is not my competence. One baptism, one Lord, one faith. Speak with the Lord and go forward. I do not dare say more. Oh, I remember this. He was talking to a bunch of Lutherans on one of his trips. Okay. He dares not say more. Yeah, right. He's pushing the envelope right there. November 16th. Let's see here. All right. Obama invokes Pope Francis to justify taking Syrian refugees. November 20th. Pope Francis calls Christmas a charade as the, quote, "world continues to wage war," unquote. November 20th. Neurotic priests scare me, says Pope. In comments that had his audience chuckling at a conference on training for the priesthood, the pontiff revealed he is instinctively suspicious of overly pious candidates. Pope Francis said, quote, "I will tell you sincerely, I'm scared of rigid priests. I keep away from them. They bite. If you are sick, if you are neurotic, go and see a doctor, spiritual or physical. The doctor will give you pills. But please don't let the faithful pay for neurotic priests. They are often young men who are psychologically unstable without knowing it, and who look for strong structures to support them. For some, it is the police or the army, but for others, it is the clergy. When a youngster is too rigid, too fundamentalist, I don't feel confident about him. Behind it, there is something he himself does not understand. Keep your eyes open. Oh, boy. All right, how are we doing on the time here? Okay, we're past 10 minutes here. We're going to stop here. Okay, so we'll talk to you again tomorrow. I'll bring you more of these gems here. Okay. All right, bye.